Today, we're talking about a new kind of AI, one that's finally breaking out of the text box. We're going to look at how AI is moving from just a tool we use to a real collaborator we work with. So let's dive in and see how it works. I mean, think about it for a second. What if your AI could do way more than just listen for commands? What if it could actually participate in your world? Seeing what you see through your phone's camera, hearing your voice in a totally normal conversation, and really understanding the context of what you're doing. Well, that's the big idea behind Gemini Live. But before we get into all the cool tech, let's talk about a problem that is very, very real: the Sunday scaries. You know that feeling of dread before a big work week? Well, it's super common. A recent survey found that a whole third of young adults feel this work-related fear on the regular. So what if your AI could actually help with that? And this is exactly where Gemini Live comes in. It's a conversational AI that uses your device's camera and microphone to, well, understand your environment. This is a huge shift. We're moving from a passive assistant that just answers questions to an active collaborator that actually gets involved in what you're doing, both on your screen and in the real world. To really wrap our heads around this, let's just walk through a day in the life with Gemini Live. And we're going to start where every good day begins, the morning briefing. Okay, so picture this. You're making coffee, or maybe you're on your commute. Instead of just endlessly scrolling through all your notifications, you just start a conversation. Gemini can summarize your most important emails, give you a quick rundown of your calendar, and even help you brainstorm your to-do list for the day, all just by talking. And as you say stuff, boom, it's adding them straight to Google Tasks or Keep. This basically turns that dead time into focused, productive prep time. All right, now let's head to the office and see how this thing really gets going. During the workday, Gemini Live really transforms from just an organizer into a seriously powerful co-pilot. So let's say you've got a big presentation coming up. Instead of bugging your coworker for feedback for like the 10th time, you can just share your screen with Gemini Live and practice your pitch out loud. It'll give you instant, totally private feedback on your speaking pace, your tone, and even your word choice. It's like having your own personal presentation coach. And it can also help you practice for those, really tough conversations. You can actually ask it to role play as your boss or a client or whoever. This gives you a safe, private space to navigate those tricky situations, which can seriously build your confidence and cut down on that work stress we were talking about earlier. But the real magic here is how it plugs into your personal data. If you enable the Google Workspace extension, you can ask Gemini to find specific info that's buried deep in your documents or emails. No more hunting around for stuff. It just securely pulls the exact information you need right when you need it. It's a game changer. But its usefulness doesn't just stop when you clock out for the day. Let's take a look at how Gemini Live can act as a personal assistant for all that after-work stuff. Okay, so if you're traveling, you can totally forget fumbling around with a clunky translation app. You just point your camera at a menu or a sign, and Gemini will give you a real-time translation. It'll even help you with pronunciation. It just makes the whole experience so much smoother. Or say you're back home, trying to tackle a DIY project. You can skip the endless scrolling through video tutorials. Just show Gemini the problem, like this broken bike chain, and it will literally diagnose the issue and walk you through the repair step by step. It can even be a partner for your creative side. So in the kitchen, for example, it can act as your personal cooking coach, giving you tips on your knife skills or even checking if your sauce has the right consistency. It's all about that interactive, real-time guidance. So, how does all of this actually work? Let's quickly pull back the curtain and see what's making this leap from a simple assistant to a true collaborator even possible. So these new features are basically the first things we're seeing from a big project called Astra. This is Google's long-term plan for a universal AI agent that can see and react to the world in real time, kind of like we do. The whole goal is to make talking to an AI feel more natural and intuitive than ever before. Now, this brings up a really important question. When should you use Gemini Live versus the classic Google Assistant? Well, here's a pretty simple way to think about it. Google Assistant is still the king of fast, simple commands, like setting a timer or turning on your lights. Gemini Live, on the other hand, is built for those complex back-and-forth conversations, the deep dives into research, brainstorming, and creative problem-solving. Getting access to all these advanced features is broken down into tiers. So while a free version gives you some everyday help and image generation, the subscription plans are what unlock the more powerful models.
As you go up the tiers, you get access to things like deep research, more storage, and eventually those really powerful agentic capabilities that can manage complex, multi-step tasks for you. So we've seen how this tech can really reshape a typical day, blending our physical and digital worlds in a totally new and powerful way. It transforms AI from just a tool into a genuine partner. And that leaves us with one last, pretty big question to think about. When your AI becomes a true collaborator, what new things will you be able to achieve?